Hi, I'm Aristoteles Pitaridis. In this video, we are going to use the Authorized attribute in order to protect controllers and actions. Usually, some pages of the website requires users to log in before the user is granted access to restricted contents. In ASP.NET MVC, we can restrict access using the Authorized attribute. Let's use the security project in order to apply this attribute to various contents of the site in order to understand how it works. We suppose that we want to protect the contents of the About action of the home controller. In order to make it, we open the home controller and we find the About action, and we add over the action definition the Authorized attribute. Let's execute the application so that we will see in action how the ASP.NET MVC responds when we use this attribute in an action. We click the About link, which represents the About action of the home controller, and we will see that ASP.NET MVC sees that this action requires a user to log in, and it automatically redirects to the login page. We can also see that in the URL text box of the browser, the URL does not contain only the login URL, but it contains the return URL parameter, which will help the framework to know to which page it should redirect when the user successfully logs in the system. Let's use the Google account in order to log into the system by clicking the Google button. Now we can see that the About page is automatically appear on the screen, and we can navigate to another page and come back to the About page and see the contents. Now let's try to log off so that we will see what is the way that the framework will respond to an action like this. We click the log off link and we try to visit the About action again. The framework knows that we logged off and it redirects us to the login page. As we can see, we do not have to write code ourselves in order to secure our site. We just inform the framework what actions have to be protected and everything works perfect. Sometimes we want to lock all the actions of a controller. Instead of adding the Authorized attribute to all the actions of the controller, we can just add the Authorized attribute to the controller and it will apply its functionality to all the actions of the controller. Let's add the Authorized attribute to the home controller in order to see how this way of using the attribute works in the project. We execute the application. Now we can see that all the actions of the home controller redirect to the login page of the site. We can also see that every time that we click one of the actions, the URL of the page changes so that the framework will know which was the last page that we selected in order to be able to go back if the user successfully logged in. Let's try to log in by using the Google account. Now we can see that all the actions of the home controller are accessible. In case that we have used the Authorized attribute to the controller, we can exclude one or more actions by using the Allow Anonymous attribute. Let's apply this attribute to the index action. We execute now the application and try to access the controller's actions in order to see how the application is going to respond after the last change that we made to the controller. we visit the three actions of the home controller, and we will see that we can visit the home page, which is generated by the index action, but the other two links will cause the framework to display the login form. This happens because we applied the Authorized attribute to controller, which means that we need authenticated users for all the actions. But we excluded the index action because we used the allow anonymous attribute. We go back and remove the authorized and allow or anonymous attributes from the home controller so that all the actions will be accessible as it was when we started this video.